back in the game, because I think Doncaster East are just ready to take the game by the throat.
Traditionally kicking down the hill the way Doncaster East. And here's Brad Henderson, the dulcet tones, to take us away for the second term.
Thanks very much, Ben, as the second term gets underway with an 11-point lead to Doncaster East. A lot of players fighting for that footy in the middle. Finally it spills clear to Rawley. He copped a free kick there. So Bo Rawley, one of the veterans in this Waverley Blues team. It is quite a young side, but there's a handful of guys who have been there for a good 9 or 10 years playing at this footy club, as Morrison takes a good strong mark on the wing position. Goes very short now, Billy Morrison to Hickey. Anthony Hickey, driving kick, not his best effort, and it's been marked there by Heinsohn for the Blues. John Heinsohn, minus his brother this season at the Blues, Greg, who the two of them have been a mainstay in the Waverley Blues team for such a long time. Very short kick there by Rawlick. Finishes up in the hands of Sapanchi. Big high up and under kick, really sets his teammate there in Edwards a hard task. And finally the ball bounces over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Big Merv's been a big part of the football club for a long time as well, Brad. Old man Merv, Heinsohn, Ray's aware of Merv.
Yeah, I know, he has, he's been around forever.
Absolutely. Quick kick by Whitty. Thumping kick by Whitty up towards the wing position. McDonald knocked it down, but it was straight into the hands of Morrison. The kick now comes out into the path of Whitty, but it just won't quite sit for Tim Whitty there. Over the boundary line, once again for a throw-in, broadcast side of Zerby's reserve, Wayne Brasher.
Yeah, look, I reckon Billy Morrison's a much better footballer when he's allowed to play ruck or that following position and run around the ground. He's a far more effective player than playing key position.
Boundary throw-in. Little handball was shot out to Edwards. Kick around the corner, but it's been marked there by Tennant. Tennant had that kick well and truly scouted, and will now just consider his options. Doesn't have too much to kick to. It's all a bit stationary around the field for the Lions. Stephen was the target. Tried to go at it one-handed because he was being restricted by his opponent. Sharp takes possession. Shot out a handball to McCulloch for the Blues, but it's over the boundary line, Dyson Baker.
Around the grounds, thanks to the local burger co. Cole Martin has 5 goals, 24-minute mark of the first term. Tight game out there, but he's doing it all his own way. Mitcham lead by 11 points.
That man crusher's still around for Dyson Baker.
Stephen gave the don't argue to Claven, and the umpire says that he's holding the ball every day of the week. Free kick goes to Angus Claven for the Waverley Blues, and he'll bring it up towards true wing position, where Tennant once again has read it perfectly and safely pouches the mark for the Lions.
Kicks it across, Hickey takes the mark, and now he'll take off, and they'll try to switch the play here. The Doncaster East Football Club kicks it to a one-on-one situation, but Ben Walker for the Blues takes a really good mark. He had a good first term as well. Rawlick screaming for it in the middle of the ground, goes that way now. Takes it on the chest. Edwards further out wide asking for the football. Another player who had a lot of the ball early in the first term. Well, early in this game, I should say. Sapanchi got a little handball out wide. They're doing it the hard way, the Waverley side at this point in time. Hickey, who's had a number of touches early in this second term, coughed it up straight away, and the short pass is on. The mark's been taken there by McCulloch for Waverley, and he'll have a shot from about 55 metres out. He wants to go quickly. He wants to go to an open goal square. This might skid the whole way through, but he pushed it to the left-hand side. Morrison was running back to fend it through, but he didn't have to because it was going through the behinds. On the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it is the Waverley Blues 1-4-10. They trail by 10 points. Doncaster East 3-2-20 as Morrison has it in the back pocket.
I just wonder, boys, at the structures of the Waverley Blues this quarter. It doesn't look good because when they do get the ball across the centre and they look forward, they're outnumbered in their forward half.
Well, Shane Tennant takes yet another mark. He's been terrific at the start of this second quarter. Towards half forward now. Agnew for the Lions. Goes short, lovely kick. Perfect pass onto the chest of Limback. And that was good footy from Doncaster East. And Dean Limback will go back and line up for goal number 16 of season 2015. 8 goals the first week against...
Well, you can't miss him. He's got those beautiful orange flowing fluoro boots out there. I'll tell you what, that's going to light up later on in the day.
Now this guy's a beautiful kick of the ball from a set shot. Back him in to kick it. And it's a bit of a floater this time, drifts across the face and a minor score. Certainly didn't get the ball drop right on that occasion. Limback has 1 goal, 1, and Doncaster East 3-3-21. The Blues 1-4-10. Take my word for it, he is a beautiful kick of the footy.
You give a guy a rap and what does he do, Brad?
Of course.
So Carboni
Oh, dangerous.
going short to his other nude nut there in Sharp, but he couldn't. It was cut off there. Whitty goes after the football, and Sharp made good of the situation and brought him to ground. So we'll have a bounce about 40 metres out from the Doncaster East goal line. So it'll be Claven in the ruck over the top there. It was knocked down by Waverley. Pies come in and played a free kick to Doncaster East for an absolutely super tackle. So the ball will be in the arms of, I think that is Shalakis, or it might be even Saravallo. He'll have a shot on goal, it is. So Aaron Saravallo, wearing the number 62 this afternoon, will kick from just inside the arc. It's a pretty open goal face. He's got to bring it back. It's coming, it's coming. It came back perfectly. Doncaster East had their 4th goal on the board, and it came at the 6-minute mark of the second term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They are 4-3-27. A handy 17-point lead now. Waverley Blues, who kicked the first goal of the game, they are 1-4-10.
It certainly didn't look like it was a good kick off the break, did it?
Around the grounds, Dyson Baker.
South Croydon 4-2-26, trail Blackburn 4-5-29. In Division 2, 1 Turner South, 1 straight 6 at quarter time. Lead Doncaster 3 behinds. Most of the other games in Division 2 night games. The Basin 5-2-32, lead Heathmont 3-1-19. Ringwood 5 straight, lead Whitehorse yet to score. And Upper Fantry Gully 2-2, lead Warrania 1 behind.
Out of the middle, the Blues send it forward through Sharp. Bounces into open space there in front of Harrison and McCulloch for the Waverley Blues. Another throw in.
And finally, Brad, sorry to cut you off, Forest Hill 4-4-28, lead Donvale 1 straight 6, Coldstream 4-1-25, lead the Glen Waverley Hawks 2-2-14.
Back into play, Harrison shot out a handball, went through the hands of McCulloch. Pupic and Stanton now got involved as well, and Rawlick now is all wrapped up. Another ball up, 17-point lead to Doncaster East. 7 minutes gone in this second quarter. It's been a long time since the Waverley Blues have kicked a goal. Came in the fairly early minutes of that first term, and since then...
Yeah, I think about the 5 minutes.
No, it actually came in the 7th minute, so we've had a whole quarter without them kicking a goal.
Palm down then to Edwards. Edwards out of the pack, fires at the goals, and as we speak, Will Edwards has kicked that long-awaited second goal for the Waverley Blues. 2 goals on the board now for them, 2-4-10. Doncaster East 4-3-27.
Badly needed goal there.
Scoreboard 2-4-16, I should say, the Blues.
Yeah, and badly needed goal there, Brad, for Waverley Blues. Opportunist goal there, really, by Edwards. Will Edwards, really, really good play. Nice kick. Might give them some heart. They just look a little bit out-muscled in that forward line, Ray.
Yeah, they certainly do, but there was some good ruck work there also by the Waverley Blues, but I would have liked to have seen a Doncaster East player on the goal side of Edwards.
Umpire throws it up in the middle. Playstead wins the tap out of from the ruck contest, then has to... Oh, he's casting the role of a rover. Ball was shot out by Mill, but it was intercepted by Malloy. Handball into open space, finishes up with Rawlick, who was well tackled by Stephen. It's a hotly contested footy at the moment. Edwards takes possession, but he's all wrapped up. He had nowhere to go. And sure enough, the umpire once again will ball it up. 11 points the lead at this stage for Doncaster East. 1 goal apiece in this second term. And McDonald there applying a tackle. Nathan McDonald, one of the Trojan Young Gun nominations last season for the Waverley Blues. Quick kick came from Saravolo, tumbles it forward to Agnew, and he just can't quite take possession. He had a lot of pressure on him then from behind. So it'll be another boundary throw in. Playstead up against Mill. Nobody really got an effective tap down, but the quick kick came to full forward. He was 4 deep in the pack, and he just judged it to perfection. Took the mark on his way down, and make no mistake, he'll slot this one through for goal number 2.
Look, it was certainly a great mark, but he was the only player that had 2 steps at it. Everyone was caught underneath it, Bush. It was a great mark.
It was. Used the body and outmanoeuvred all opponents beautifully then.
Well, he's an excitement machine for this for the Doncaster East Football Club in season 2015. What an acquisition he has been so far. From point-blank range, he's taking his time over it. He's only just stuck at home.
Oh, well, that's all you have to do, mate.
Hard work, is it? But he's got
all you have to do.
2 goals for Lindback, and Doncaster East have their 5th on the board.
Great call, Brad. That's one for the highlight reel as we go over to Soupy, thanks to Choose Tap.
Marks inside 50 for the match now, 5-0 in favour of Doncaster East.
That was a quick response there by Doncaster East, and I think that was what the doctor ordered there.
Ball back in the middle of the ground, across the 10-minute mark of this second term. Aaron Bailey restarts it now. Playstead got the little knockdown, and coming in through there was Edwards, got a little boot to ball, kicks it out towards the half-forward line. Carboni's out in the race against Lowther. Lowther was the first player to meet the football, rushed over the boundary line and out of bounds. Best wishes though with Jared Marshall. Came off early in the game. Ambulance has arrived at the ground. Playstead knocks it out. First player there was Nathan McCulloch. He's been rushed over the boundary line, and we'll have another restart right in front of the Waverley Blues interchange bench.
Ben Carboni was quite prominent in the opening 15 minutes of this game. He's been basically shut out of the game, and a lot of the run of the Waverley Blues has stopped because of that, Ray.
Yeah, he certainly is. Well, he's the instigator of most of their moves. You know, him and Matthew Sharp, they're the two that get them going, Brash. And yeah, they've certainly closed down on Carboni.
BWS, you were talking before about Anthony Hickey, right? One of the things, he's had a lot of touches with the ball, right? He works so hard to get his possessions, but his last 3 or 4 balls, he's had chances to hit blokes on the chest, and he's turned it over. If he could eliminate those sort of mistakes, he could be a lot more damaging player.
Yeah, he certainly attacks the football extremely hard. He's one of those hard, solid players. He comes in at 100 miles an hour like an absolute bull in a china shop. And I suppose that when you're going at that pace at a number of times and the ball lands in your arms, it can be difficult to hit the precision pass off. But I'm sure the side's happy with his endeavour at this stage.
I wouldn't be questioning that at all. I'm just saying, you know, on days like today, I mean, it's really hard to be really pinpoint with your disposal because of the prevailing conditions.
With the break-in play we got now, boys, with the stretcher going across the middle of the ground there, I believe it's to Waverley Blues' advantage, Brash, don't you? Because they need to get their structures right. They need to start again, and to have a break like this at this stage of the game, I think that everything that they need to get back into the game.
I think you're right, Ray, and I think one of the things is, I reckon as this game goes longer, I think the more Lindback comes into play, because he's a bigger body guy, and you can see the way that he manoeuvres his opponent out of position quite nicely, and if they can open up that forward line and not so much bomb it in, but direct the pass to him on a lead, or he's still equally as good one-on-one as well. So I think Waverley Blues are going to have to look at that structure in the second half if they hope to keep in the game.
Is the issue for Waverley Blues the delivery into the forward line, or is it the forwards getting well beaten by the defenders? Because I mentioned they had no marks inside 50, and Doncaster East have 5, yet they're both even for the inside 50s for the match. I think
that first 15 minutes, Grant, was the fact that Doncaster East worked extremely hard, and I think that actually worked to their benefit, because then once they started to get on top, they started to be more creative, and the tackling pressure of the Waverley Blues half-forward line had dropped off, and they were allowed to become more creative.
So Jared Marshall just been stretchered across by the ambulance across the ground. Have been told that he's
broken collarbone. Yeah, that's not a good sign.
And it was in the first minute of play, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but really the first contest. Yeah.
But all precautions need to be taken. So a super footballer, as I said earlier, he has suffered major injury before, and it's never a good thing to see a player stretch it off the ground.
It's never good, BWS, and I always feel particularly sorry for a guy who, you know, you got to figure, you sort of look forward to the game, you build yourself up for it, especially an Anzac Day clash. You're psyched and ready to go, and you get to play, 30 seconds of this game. Would have, as Ray said, probably one contest, and the day is over. We don't know how long he'll be out for, but, you know, it would be such a letdown to be up for the contest and then have it cut short so quickly.
Game back underway here. We've hit the 15-minute mark, but expect it to go for every bit of 35 minutes as Stevens picks up the ball. He did all the work himself and then banged it on his boot and kicked it out of bounds on the full. So under a little bit of pressure there. 5 minutes into the second quarter out at South Croydon, and the Doggies are coming back. They only trail by 8 points to Blackburn, who got off to a good start. Here's Ben Carboni to drive the ball forward now for the Waverley Blues, looking for their second goal.
Someone's yellow carded on the 50-metre line, boys. Something happened.
I'm not quite sure. I think it might be a Doncaster East player who's been shown the yellow card. Aaron Bailey out there taking...
Michael Stephen, it looks like.
Taking no nonsense as Michael Stevens, yes, he's been the player who's been sent off, so he can enjoy his little break, and a 25-metre penalty ensues. So Carboni will come right up and just kick outside the arc here, and we know that he's a beautiful kick of the football, and he might just be the man to lift his side and get them onto a little bit of a run on, but he fooled everyone. Went to his other nude nut in sharp over the top of him. It picked up and snapped around the body, but it goes over the boundary line and out of bounds by Sleverson on the full. So it will be Dean Giles to bring the ball back in.
Actually, it's just managed to sneak it through for a behind end, Sleverson.
Oh, right. It looked like it went right across the face of goal there. So Bendigo Bank scoreboard. That would be why you were pointing your finger in front of me, Brad. I finally get it.
One little finger, yeah. That's
Giles kicks it up towards the Tennant direction. He couldn't get boot to ball. Comes out towards the wing position. That was really good play by Saravolo. Got the handball away. Picked up there by Agnew. Gave the old don't argue, but handball went into absolute no man's land. Now it's a chance for the Waverley Blue side. Kick goes across the half-forward line. Handball over the top. Picked up there by Lowther tackle, and he was brought to ground.
That was a really good tackle there by Jared Lowther.
A bit of argy-bargy comes through. They'll be looking to start the play straight away. There's Aaron Bailey, came in, the non-officiating umpire, threw the ball up, bangs on the boot by Sleverson to the last line of defence. Well done, Pavick and Stanton now. He's a veteran player and a smart player. He stood on the last line of defence, got the ball out towards Batsana, copped an easy push in the back there. That was probably a little bit silly by Walker. He was under a bit of pressure, and here's Batsanas going backwards to go forwards. Gets it across to Hickey. Needs to hit a target to hit Rush's standards. He does so now. Here's Sousby. Oh, that's a dangerous kick by Sousby. Better hit the target. Giles takes it, and he copped one for his troubles as well, and he hits the deck. And taking a little while to get up to is the recruit, Dean Giles.
I think he landed right on the lower part of his back there, boys, and we know how much that hurts.
Potentially he has been winded.
No, he's all right. He's made of tough stuff.
Certainly is.
It's amazing how quick it comes good once you get the free kick.
Well, he certainly copped it.
Yeah,
so
he copped it.
He'll come back and have to go over the man on the mark here.
Well, him and between Giles and Limback, they look nearly the same type players. The orange boots, one just kicks left, one kicks right.
16 points is the margin. The way of the Lions as the ball goes up towards the wing position. Musso dropped what he probably should have taken. Sousby, little handball over the top. That was okay. Back to Hickey. They're working backwards here. Short pass there by Coghill. It was a scrambly old kick going after it again with Sousby. Laid the tackle, but it was a little bit too high. The Waverley Blues looking to...
You know, boys, just watching the last 3 or 4 minutes of play, to me there's a distinct difference in the two sides. Donny East tackle, Waverley Blues bump. If you just have a look.
Well, McCulloch went short. Now they'll get another chance here, the Blues. Bit of a floating kick inside forward 50. Almost a good mark there by Sleverson at the bottom of the pack. Carboni slides in right on his hammer. His Tennant to lay the tackle and will have a bounce. A lot of players forming around this football. It's certainly tense out there. There's no doubt about that. A lot of spirit being played on the day of spirit. Morrison goes up in the ruck that time. Tennant came barging through, but he was quickly met there by Feary, who brought him to ground in a tackle. Loving the work by Aaron Bailey today, just restarting play. No messing about. Here's Daniel Mead. Risky handball, but it was okay. He might get it back now. And Doncaster East, they have the numbers. Kick goes up towards the wing position. Which way is this one going to bounce favourably for Batsanas? Right on his hammer there was Sarah Panchi. Agnew's in there as well. Will it go out towards him? Sousby goes after it into. There is Malloy on hands and knees. A handball out there by Bailey. McLeod chopped it up though for Doncaster East. He spilled it. Was fouled after he got rid of it. And he'll receive a free kick. Lukey McLeod gets a handball quickly away to Batsanas, who wastes no time. He drives the ball inside 550. Back. He got a bite on it. Knocked away from him by Fury. Comes out towards the Sousby direction. Can he snag one on the right boot? Sousby snap around the body. It was to the direction there of Agnew. Couldn't pull it down. And now the Waverley Blues are going to clear it away through Jacob Bailey. Umpire's called it back, in fact.
Yeah, it's coming back because there's a bit going on in the forward pocket here for Doncaster East.
A little bit of feelings crept into this second quarter.
You're telling me.
Sure has. So
downfield.
It's been paid downfield now to McCulloch at half-back. Unloads with the kick to a big pack of players. No mark was held. Giles, who's recovered well.
Well done.
From that knock he took a couple of minutes ago. Got it to Batsanas. Somehow fed the ball out. Was clever. Whitty takes possession. Gathers it in now. Kicks to the... Plenty of holding on there from McCauley. Wants the free kick, but the umpire thought better of it.
I reckon why there's a lot of frustration hitting into the game, right? Waverley Blues are finding it really hard to score. Their three main goal kickers, Marnie, Savage and Sharp, Marnie not playing, have had no influence on the game. They've kicked 18 goals in the opening 2 games.
Yep, it's been hard work for them, that is for sure, as they come out of defence now. Sapanchi got it from Harrison. Sapanchi's kick to the wing position. Bounces over the back there with Sleverson. And he pushed Coghill towards the fence and then immediately apologised to his opposite number.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Still nothing inside, in between the inside 56 apiece of this quarter. Contested possessions 25-23 in favour of Donny East.
So Claven against Morrison in the ruck contest. Morrison for Doncaster East won it. And Tim Whitty there. He's a real terrier, and that was a terrific tackle. Umpire throws it up. Morrison won it down. Handball was shot out by Batsanas to Mead. Mead can't quite gather the footy. Claims push in the back. The umpire says yes. And you can hear then the vocal support coming from over the fence. The Donny East faithful. This is all happening right in front of where they're watching the game from. Mead gets the resulting free kick. A big high up and under kick to a huge pack of players. No mark taken. Carboni shares it with Walker. It's a free kick paid downfield there because Carboni was dumped after he dished off the handball. Walker, very short to Sharp. Matty Sharp. Little handball to Sapanchi. The kick to Sleverson has a bit of it. He had to go 2-on-1 there. McCulloch arrives on the scene to offer support.
That was poor decision making there. I just thought that kicking to a 2-on-1 and going the boundary line, I just thought that was poor decision making.
15-point lead to Mitcham over South Belgrave at quarter time. Vermont, you'll be happy with this, Brash. Leads by 4 points over Baldwin as it comes out now. Wing position here, Carboni. He was cool customer in a tough situation. Got a little handball away. That was good to Walker. Bangs it on his boot inside forward 50 towards the Sleverson direction. Knocked over the boundary line and out of bounds by Coghill. Williams has his second as the Norsemen close the gap. It's 31-39. So some good football happening out there around the grounds. Templestowe lead by 20 points in the second quarter against Churnside Park as it comes straight down to Sharp. That was almost a set play. Sharp around it. Better can this one go through? That's one of the goals of the day we've seen so far. Fantastic bit. That's his first on the board and on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It is an important one for the Waverley Blues as they narrow this gap back to 10 points at the 23-minute mark of the second term. 3-5-23. Doncaster East 5-3-33.
Yeah, great goal by Sharp there, but it was also very good shepherding in the goal square by Edwards. You know, if he hadn't shepherded the Donny East player out, it obviously would have been touched. But look, Donny East has had most of the play in this quarter. I think we'll agree with all of that. But now, with that goal, that puts Waverley Blues back in the contest.
10-point lead for Doncaster East after the goal by Matty Sharp. Little handball was shot out there by Shalakis to Whitty. Very high kick from Tim Whitty. And Jake Bailey was forced to camp under it for quite some time, but he didn't panic. Safely held the mark. Swings the kick out towards the wing position. Claven was there against Tennant, and it's socket off the ground then by Walker towards the boundary line for a throw-in. 10-point lead for Doncaster East. 2 goals in this quarter, 2-1 for them, and the Blues have kicked 2 goals too. So it's been a real arm wrestle this second term. Claven won it down. Whitty put his head over the footy. Carboni went in hard as well. Umpire pays the free kick.
Gutsy play, Whitty.
Whitty shot it out to Hickey. Hickey had a bounce, just put himself under a bit of pressure then. Got it out to Hardwick. Now it's with Mead. Wants to swing onto that left foot. He does so. Centres the ball nicely. Daniel Mead, and the mark safely held there by Ceravolo. Papa Constantinow for Doncaster East. And he was in the box seat there. It was a good kick by Daniel Mead. Put it back into the corridor. And big James Papa Constantinow has already kicked 1 goal today. And will line up for his second from a distance which will test him, but certainly is not beyond range. So James Papa Constantinow, he can do it all. Play in defence, in the ruck, and even go forward and kick a goal. And he's almost kicked his second. It was just off to the left. Minor score then for Doncaster East. 5-4-34. Waverley Blues 3-5-23. Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Well, Williams has 3 goals, and Norwood have hit the front against Noble Park in Division 1 match of the day. 25 minutes gone in this second term. The kick goes out towards the Claven direction, I should say. I'll get it right eventually. Picked up there by Hardwick, and he slam it home. He pushes it to the left-hand side. So 2 points in a minute for the Doncaster East Football Club. 5-5-35. They lead it by 2 goals. The Waverley Blues 3-5-23. So a couple of missed chances there for Doncaster East. As we cross the 26-minute mark of this second term. The Blues now through Robinson, plays it to himself and got a lot of purchase on that football. Kicked it up towards the wing position, picked up there by Heath, got a little handball out wide, and now Doncaster East are working their way forward. Here's Morrison on the right boot, just poked it up. Wasn't the prettiest of kicks by Billy, and over the boundary line it goes out of bounds on the full.
Free kick to Doncaster East.
Well, Walker's just asking the question why, so push. Perhaps it might have been off the ball, but Soupy saw it. The kick goes towards the limb back direction, and he stands strong. He's got good jukes, doesn't he? He just held his body in the front position, and he brought it to ground. Fantastic mark. He's already kicked 2 goals in this game, and he'll go back from 30 metres out to put through his third, and what Doncaster East are looking for after peppering for the last couple of minutes, Ray.
Yeah, they certainly need to kick this one just to answer back Waverley Blues and put them just that little bit further ahead. But look, that was just sheer strength that got that mark. It was one-on-one. Both players had both feet on the ground. It was his sheer body strength that got the mark.
2 goals this afternoon. 16 for the season. He'd love 17. Leans over the ball. It's not pretty at all. And it was touched on the line. So a sausage roll, if ever you've seen one, by Dean Lindback.
BWS, I think the reason he didn't kick that, I think he was guiding it through rather than go back and kick the thing out of the park.
Looked like a finger-breaking mongrel punt to me.
No, he seemed to just half kick it, just guide it over the guy on the marks.
Maybe Alfie's told him not to kick it over the nets. They need to save the footballs out here today as the ball comes back into play, Brad.
Hogan's kicking was marked there by Bailey, and gee, watching Dean Lindback kicking today, it's like a different person. He's been horrendous in front of goal today, but last week his kicking was brilliant. So can't explain it. All wrapped up by Savage, and holding the ball, the free kick does go to the Waverley Blues.
Tell you what, if the Blues can get one here, won't they take some sting out of the Lions?
Yep. It certainly will.
Savage has kicked to half forward. No mark taken, off hands to Hogan. Hogan's kick bounces across the face of goal. The only man there is Jack Shalakis for Doncaster East.
Good pressure.
He did well, didn't panic. He was under a bit of pressure, but he steadied now with the kick. Went over the head of Batsanis. Short pass there intended for Sharp. The Lions dodge a bullet now as Mead takes it at half back. Lovely kick from Daniel Mead to big Billy Morrison, who wheels around. Brings it back into the corridor. Again, probably not his best effort with the kick. Batsanis takes possession, but he's all wrapped up and this time it's the Blues dodging a bullet because they looked really dangerous going forward.
It was certainly the wrong option to square things up then. You had Limback one out in the square, and we've seen him use his body so well already today. He probably would have taken that.
Sharps kick off the ground, got it to Nolan. Nolan sends it forward. Edwards the target. He's done some nice things, Will Edwards, today. Coghill got it from Lowther, puts his body over the footy, almost gives a free kick away. And some good desperation shown then from Sleverson.
The Waverley Blues would love to get a score out of this stoppage. 29.5 minutes gone in the quarter.
13 points, the margin, the ball thrown in just in front of the Bendigo Bank scoreboard here at Zerby's Reserve. That's Whitty taking possession, cops a high one, BWS.
Half-time in Division 4, it's Coldstream leading by 4 points over the Glen Waverley Hawks in a terrific game out there at its Central Reserve.
13 points, the margin. Whitty got quick boot to ball, went nowhere and knocked over back towards the boundary line for another throw-in. 13 points as we tick over to the 30-minute mark of this second quarter. We said it would be a long term. It was quite a long stoppage while the stretcher was with Jared Marshall on it was walked across the field. There's the kick up towards the wing position. Morrison in the box seat. He's loomed large in this second quarter. Goes very short to Batsanis. Batsanis takes the mark. Nice kick by Batsanis, and he finds Musa on the chest. I'm with you, Brash. I reckon he looks like a natural ruckman, Billy Morrison. Takes the mark, but it was just after the siren sounded, and that completes the second quarter here at Zerby's Reserve. 30 minutes and 33 seconds elapsed in that term, and it is Doncaster East at half-time. 5 goals, 6:36, leading the Waverley Blues 3-5-23, a 13-point lead to the Lions on the bench.